That's but he was listening. We've got something really exciting and interesting and different for us now. We've got the live recording of a podcast for transmission later this week, in conjunction with G1 Reads and the Big Rab Show, and it's going to be some fascinating music coming up over the next hour and a half, and some fantastic chat as well from the man himself. He's just, for those of you who can't see him, he's just done that. That means he's the man himself. He'll be on in a second. We were talking there about both doing some work for the BBC, and we were talking about the fact that we don't really have to come and do these gigs at Pipe and Live because the work that we do for the BBC is so well paid. Somebody said to me one day, "That kilt that you're wearing, what tartan is it?" And I said, "That kilt is a special tartan that was made for Rabboni. It's a BBC tartan. It's made up of very small checks." Rab's going to keep us entertained for the next hour and a half, so please put your hands together for Rab of the Big Rab Show, and this is in conjunction with G1 Reads. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another Big Rab Show podcast. Yay! Oh, come on, you can do better at that. We're at Pipe and Live 2019. Welcome to the Big Rab Show podcast. Yay! I can go home now. No, honest to goodness, I think I spoke to a good number of you out there. I'm shaking at the knees. Totally out of my comfort zone, but hey, I'm going to enjoy myself. It's going to be the best crack. Has anybody been following us on the Big Rab Show on social media? Have you even heard of us? Yeah, so you do know about the show. So everyone to say hello to our live streamer right up front. Hello, Deej. Hello to everyone watching online as well. So, yes, as we're recording this right now, it's being released as an episode of the podcast. So, if you haven't listened to the podcast before, check us out. We're on iTunes, shameless plug, all that sort of stuff. We talk about bagpiping and drumming each and every week. It's what we know and love. So, it's just fantastic to be here on this stage. Thanks to G1 Reads. So, can we all give a bit of a shout for G1 for having us here? Here's the G1! G1 Reads have been supporters of ours since the very beginning, and I have to say those guys are absolutely outstanding. Now, each guest that's going to hit the stage today all play G1 products. And we actually have some new products coming your way. We're going to chat about that throughout the rest of the show. But first of all, I'm going to give you a small selection of the band that's going to be playing later tonight in the Dry Gate. Please welcome to the stage, Tryst!
Hello there, we're just going to play a few tunes for you. We're on later on at the Dry Gate along with Fluke and Dram, so get yourselves along there. There's actually going to be 9 of us tonight, but the rest are just relaxing and taking themselves easy for the gig tonight, but the hardcore boys are going for it here. So we'll start off with a tune of Ali's called Grands.
One person likes it, good.
Very popular tune, that, eh?
Thank you. We're going to play some Gordon Duncan tunes for you now. All of you that want to get up for a dance and are steaming far too early in the day, go for it. Thank you.
What about that? Hello? Can you I used the wrong mic. What about that, ladies and gentlemen? Tryst! Not bad at all. So a shameless plug, if you want to hear more of that, these guys are playing the Dry Gate tonight, isn't that right? Yeah, what time is the gig?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. There you go. Go and see these guys. Now, can someone be a nominated spokesman? I want to hear about these chanters, lads. Yeah. There you go. Ali Hudden, how are you, sir?
Fine, nice to see you, aye.
Cheers. Can you tell me then about the G1 chanter that you guys are playing? Why pick G1?
We were blackmailed by Jock. No, we're trying to play in B flat, 440 concert pitch, and to have accidentals to try to play tunes that are kind of out with the normal piping scale. And this seems to be the chanter that's kind of working. I mean, it's a wee bit sharp with B flat at the minute because it's quite hot when you're playing, as you can see. I wouldn't do that. But aye, they're nice and bright sounding, so we're trying to get that kind of big band sound as well as being at that kind of pitch. So we've sort of been working together and sort of changed a few things here and there, and the guys have been very good at accommodating our requests. So there you go.
So can I ask a question then about the band itself? Tryst, am I right in saying that this kind of started out as a wee bit of an experiment, and then it was a joke? It was a joke, really? And then it grew from that till what we have now. Am I right in saying that you guys could possibly be in the studio? We might be getting a little release from Tryst? Kinda, okay. I don't know if we can check that as confirmation. What do you reckon?
Well, no, we're not in the studio. We tried, but we're all so busy doing other things, I guess, that that's kind of slightly on the back burner at the moment. But I think the whole idea of the band was originally 10 of us that you grew up playing in pipe bands and kind of fell into the folkier side of things and started doing lots of different gigs and kind of missed that whole thing of like playing with a whole bunch of pipers, but maybe we couldn't commit to a full pipe band kind of season, and I guess just to kind of work with other people who write most of their own music. So I guess that was the kind of main driver behind it.
Grant, well, if you do want to hear more from these guys, check them out at the Dry Gate tonight. So there you go. Grant, thank you very much, lads. Give them a round of applause. Fantastic stuff. Now, before they head on, I hope you give us a shout to play the Gordon Duncan tune, and I've been told to plug the Gordon Duncan Memorial Trust.com. Give them a shout. Hello, Gordon Duncan Memorial Trust. I think you're in the crowd. Yay, there you go. All right, let's fly quickly on to our next act. Please welcome to the stage an up-and-coming solo piper of note, Anna Smart. about that, ladies and gentlemen. Anna Smarts, not bad at all. Thank you, Anna. Now, joined some big G1 toad there. Wasn't that amazing? You know, I'm a drummer, even I can appreciate that. Anyway, I have to say, with us and the Big Rab Show team, I'm sure a lot of us here in the room has possibly watched one of our live streams at one point. Hands up if you've watched the Rab Show live stream. All of you? Oh my goodness, right, okay. Well, on our live streaming team, we have DJ McIntosh on the front, you have myself, yours truly, but also you have our next act that is about to appear on stage. This guy has been working with the Rab Show team now for the longest time, and is an absolute legend. Managed to get up this morning at 4 AM along with myself and flew over here. So, I have to say, with all of us in the Rab Show team, as we're out working and we're out filming everything for everyone, we're all wearing these big Rab Show hoods. You can see our teacher right down the front here. So, if you ever do catch any of us in the wild, as they say, we love taking Rab Show selfies. Don't we, Deej? Yeah, of course we do. So I figured this is the best selfie we could ever possibly get right now. You's up for a Rab Show selfie? The unused at the back, pull yourselves forward, go on ahead, don't be shy. Everyone's all going shy now. Oh, Rob, don't be taking my photo. Right, everyone give us a cheer there. That has to be the biggest Rab Show selfie I've ever taken. Thank you, everyone. Grant, well, like I said, this guy is not shy when it comes to selfies, but he's also a live streamer extraordinaire. And he has been up against it whenever it comes to bagpiping. He has been a member of Shots and Dykehead, has been involved in the piping world for the longest time, but then fell very ill. And as a result, he had many amputations to his hand and also to his leg. And as a result, he was left with very little left on both hands. Now, as part of the story goes, Andrew was so passionate about bagpiping, he couldn't leave it behind. So somehow managed to find a way to play a tune or two on an electronic chanter. So somebody close to home in Northern Ireland made one for him, was able to play again. That was gold dust. And this time last year, Andy came to Piping Live, and we'll talk more about the rest of Andy's story later. But so for those of you who aren't aware of who this next legend is, his name is Mr. Andrew Shulday. Can we give a shout for him? An absolute legend. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Mr. Andrew Shulday. What about that, ladies and gentlemen? Andrew Shirley! Not bad at all. And again, Andrew, he's on stage here today, but he's now back competing again. Wow. So, yeah, from playing in shots and deck and all of that, and playing in the top upper echelon, and then you're back playing again and following your illness. So, yeah, it's just awesome to see you back again. You're going for the big jump there, going, come on, lad. Oh! An absolute legend, I think you all agree. So, Andy is back playing again, like I said earlier, thanks to G1, on a bit of a chance meeting, if anything. Andy was here, working as part of the Big Rab Show team, live streaming and being a general pest, as we do, getting in everyone's face. But Andy had a chance meeting with some of his old bandmates in shots. Turned out one of them was Jock from G1. And as the story goes, they all kind of sat around, played a few tunes on these electronic chanters, and Jock kind of thought to himself, I could make you a chanter. And of course Andy says, way on, no, I'll stick to this. But he says, no, honest to goodness, let me try it. So I think what happened was, he actually ended up taking a photograph of Andy's hands and taking the photograph of the actual chanter he was using. And then a month or two passed, Andy had actually forgot about it, and then suddenly, here's your prototype, have fun with that. Now, as you can imagine, that was like opening the gates to, oh my word, I can play again. Proper set of pipes, practice chanter, the full works. So, I thought at this year's Piping Live, I would like to do a bit of a surprise. Andy doesn't know about this. I'm being awful cruel and springing this on him. But I figured because it's the 1 year anniversary from when Andy met the guys at G1, had the crack and played a wee of tunes, I figured it'd be a good laugh to get the boys back on stage again. Because they were in there in the bar earlier. What do you think? Didn't they get them on for a tune? They were all messing about in there playing wee tunes. You can do it on stage, lads, couldn't you? Ah, come on, Jock, you're in the back there. Come on ahead, man. Come on, get plugged in. Come on, give them a round of applause, guys. We'll get them on. Why not? You can see all the dirty looks for here. But yes, it's incredible to think, like a 1 year on, you know, and now here we are. So, what are you guys playing here? You were playing these out there. What? Aye. Well, the Blair Digital, yeah.
Tune into
I see, right. There he's coming back, look. Hey, there you go. You thought you had your work finished.
How are you? Good. Of course, Andrew's main attribute is he plays with his hands the right way around on the chanter, like myself. Jock, a challenge for you. Right, I need a seat.
You tell we planned this.
No, bike pipes will do.
that was okay for a non-rehearsed performance. We will be playing at Glasgow Green on Saturday. We're waiting to get graded. So a huge thanks, because I've been following what Jock has been doing at G1 with Andrew, and it's just magnificent to see this. And I'll use the word, I don't care what you think, love between pipers and our fellow men and women, and the great things that you can do to sort of help each other in this day and age where we're all full of horrible things in the world. So Andrew, my good friend, great stuff. Come and see us on Thursday at the trade fair. We'll be able to try these, the Blair out. Come along and have a little thing. So that's great. Andrew's exhausted. So are we. We've never stopped blowing the whole time. So that's it. So thanks very much. Over to you, Rap. Thank you.
Well, what about that? You could take breath. And I have to say, these guys are going to take up a little bit more room than our last act. Well, I don't want to introduce you all singly, because I think you might know some of the faces behind me right now. But I think, suffice to say, you guys have a bit of a Northern Irish name. Northern Irish names, instead of saying boys, we say bays. Please welcome to the stage, the Turbo Harmony Bays!
Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to do a little bit of setting up here. So the reason we're using music stands is because all of us have amazingly busy schedules, so we haven't had an awful lot of time to rehearse this. So it could be a little rough. We'll just try our best to get through it. We're going to give our pipes a little blow, because the guys played a bit longer than what I thought they were going to, so we were standing there for a bit. So we want just the sound to be as good as possible for everyone. So just bear with us for a couple of minutes. Thanks. While the guys are setting up the music for us, I'll explain a bit about what we're doing. So the first set we're going to do is a well-known 6/8 march, but it's got a little bit of a twist and a different kind of harmony outlook on it. I'm actually playing a different chanter than the rest of the guys. I'm playing the Bagad Do chanter. So instead of having a low G, it has a low F. So it does sound a bit mental, but hopefully in the whole ensemble it's going to blend quite well. I actually haven't heard it from your side. I've only heard it from standing playing, so hopefully it's alright. We're good to go. hope that didn't sound too crazy. Definitely something different than what you would normally hear coming from the bagpipes, I guess. So the next set is our original set where the Turbo Harmony bass thing actually came from. It was just product of boredom. Whenever myself and Chris, we both worked with Western Australia Police at the time, and I got asked to do some harmony for a band called Invercargill, and I wrote the harmony and just got a couple of guys through just to try and see what it sounded like. And we took a video of it and decided just to fire it up on Facebook, and it went way over and above whatever what I thought it was going to. It went kind of viral, and so I thought this is our first live performance, I guess. So it'd be good to do the original set, but I just need to change my chanter because I need to get rid of this low F. Thank you very much. So this is our last set now, and this is a brand new suite that I've written recently. So it's still a bit of a work in progress. I don't even have a name for it yet. And we're going to finish off with the Madonna Triangle, which was another one of the original Turbo Harmony bass videos as well. I'm not expecting this to be brilliant at all. And apologies about the last set. Kieran forgot to lift the tape off his B. Thanks, Kieran. thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed our first live performance as the Turbo Harmony Boys. Hopefully there'll be more gigs, and we'll be a bit better rehearsed for the next one. Apologies about the music, but I guess if orchestras can do it, then so can we. So, I hope you enjoyed the rest of the gig, and over to Big Rob.
What about that, everyone? That wasn't bad. What was that, like a 5-part harmony or something? Before? There you go. Well, folks, we're getting ready to wrap up. Am I the only one doing, I said we're ready to wrap up. Oh, it's terrible. But you know, as I get to wrap up, that means the rest of Piping Live begins. So, yeah, I think I have to say it's an absolute honour to be on this stage. So many thanks to the guys at G1 for having a big old idiot like me on stage. I have to say, it's just awesome to kick off this incredible festival, and I hope you guys manage to enjoy the rest of the festival. Scott, you gonna say something, buddy? What's up?
I'll get in trouble if I don't do this. The Robin and Danny, who were both playing with us there in the Turbo Harmony Base, they've got gigs in here and about Glasgow the entire World's Week. So it's going to be some awesome music from those guys, and you should definitely pop along and try to catch it if you can. Alright, I just thought I'll get in trouble if I don't mention that. Thanks.
Not at all. Well, I think that's it from myself and the Big Rab Show. Thanks again to the guys at G1 for this. This has been an incredible event. Have you guys enjoyed yourselves? Awesome stuff. Well, the guys joining next to me, you may recognise their faces. They're from a little known band as Inverary. Awesome. Well, that's it for another Big Rab Show podcast. Thanks so much for listening. If you're listening around the world, and for all of you here in our live audience, give us a cheer. I will leave you all in the capable hands of Inverary District Quartet.